Have you ever wondered if you could explore the entire world without ever leaving your bedroom? Well, for a teenager named Tom Davidson, this wasn't some sci-fi fantasy. It became his reality. This is the incredible story of how one accidental explorer completely remapped his entire world.
Seriously, just think about that for a second. What if the very thing that traps you, the one thing that's holding you back, what if that could actually become the key to unlocking your greatest adventure? Keep that question in mind as we dive into this. Okay, so to really get a handle on Tom's amazing journey, we first have to understand the world he was forced to leave behind, a world that, for him, suddenly and terrifyingly just shut down.
I mean, the contrast in Tom's life is just night and day. Before the accident, he was this passionate explorer, right? London was his playground, he was always outdoors, family holidays abroad were everything. But after, his world just shrank to four walls. Suddenly cars, planes, even just the idea of being outside became a source of pure terror.
So, what happened? What could cause such a drastic change? Well, it was a total freak accident. When he was just 15 years old, he was walking to a bus stop and a sign literally fell from a building and hit him. He was in the hospital for over 2 months, and his doctors told him he was lucky to even be alive.
The trauma from that day left Tom with a really severe condition called agoraphobia. And it's not just a simple fear of open spaces like some people think. It's this intense, crippling anxiety about any situation where you might feel trapped or helpless. For Tom, the entire world outside his front door had become one of those terrifying places.
And this wasn't just a short-term thing. We're talking 2 full years. 2 years Tom was confined to his house. That's 2 birthdays, 2 summers, all spent inside the very same 4 walls. Just let that sink in.
But this is where the story takes a really inspiring turn. Because when the physical world basically closed its doors on Tom, a digital window opened up, and it showed him a completely new way to explore.
So what do you do? I mean, really, if you're an explorer at heart, if you have that deep urge to see the world, how do you do it when stepping outside is completely impossible?
You know, the answer was so simple, but at the same time just profoundly powerful. Google Maps. Yeah, that everyday tool that most of us just use for directions. For Tom, it became his portal to the entire planet.
And the freedom this gave him was just immense. With Street View, Tom wasn't just looking at a map anymore. He was there. He was virtually walking the streets of Rome. He was standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. He was discovering these remote little villages he'd never even heard of. He basically had a virtual passport to every single country Google's cameras had ever been to.
So, this new way of seeing the world, it started out as, a coping mechanism, really. A hobby to pass the long days stuck inside. But it very quickly evolved into something much, much bigger.
Yeah, his virtual travels completely transformed into a full-blown art project. He wasn't just a tourist anymore. He became a photographer, a curator of the world's hidden beauty, all of it seen through the lens of his computer screen.
And just look at the sheer volume of his work. Over 5,000 screenshots. Each one of those is a carefully chosen moment, a unique perspective on a place he's never physically been to. He was building this incredible portfolio of the world.
And hearing it in his own words, you really feel the scale of what he accomplished. To have visited, in his own unique way, every single country available on the platform, that's just a staggering achievement. He honestly saw more of the world from his bedroom than most people do in a lifetime of actual travel. And people started to notice his unique vision. His work was recognized for its artistic merit, and his best photos were actually chosen for a public exhibition at a school right near his house. What an amazing moment of validation for his art, right? But, and this is the part that really gets you, of course he didn't go. He couldn't go to his own exhibition. This detail is so crucial because it's this poignant reminder that while his mind was soaring across continents, his body was still trapped by his agoraphobia. It just makes his achievement even more profound. So all of this brings us to the future, because Tom's story doesn't end with him being trapped forever, no way. It's about how he's using these virtual journeys to actually map out a path back into the real world. And this is the most important part. His digital exploration isn't an escape from reality anymore. It's become his motivation for recovery. Every beautiful street he finds, every stunning landscape he discovers is just another reason, another goal, pushing him to overcome his anxiety so he can one day see it all with his own eyes. And he's got a plan. This isn't just a vague dream. He's got a step-by-step journey back to the world he loves. He wants to start as a virtual tour guide, then move on to being a tour guide in the real world, and then, the ultimate goal, achieve his dream of becoming a flight attendant, finally traveling the globe he's so carefully explored from his room. Tom's story is just an incredible testament to human resilience and creativity. He turned his prison into a portal, and in doing so, he challenged our very idea of what it means to travel. And it leaves us with this final, really powerful thought. If technology can so profoundly remap one person's world, just imagine what new worlds it could open up for all of us.